What's up, beautiful people? I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. So today's video is once again going to be about life, you know? So the title today is I Am. So I want to put all of us in the mindset of filling in the blank after that. I am what? I am bold, I am courageous, I am brave, I am happy, I am confident. Whatever you want to place into after I am, feel freely to do so. Because what I want for us to do is to create a thought about ourselves that we don't need outside forces to give us. Like, for example, I am knowledgeable. I am confident. Whatever it may be, just fill it in. And what I want you to do is for the next several days, keep saying that to yourself. When you wake up in the morning, before you go to your bed, before you step out the door and you look in the mirror to check your wardrobe, say I am and then whatever you have chose. Because what it is it's reassuring self. And that's a lot of times all that we need. Reassurance that we are what we believe that we are. In life, we're going to experience some experiences that make you feel as if you feel defeated or, sad or unhappy about. But sometimes we can lose sight of self. So that's why I want us to learn to create routines for reassuring yourself without needing somebody else to tell you, wow, you're a courageous person, you're a bold person, you're a loving person. Instead of having to wait to hear that from, either friends, families, or lovers, I want us to train ourselves to say it to ourselves. In the world we live in, they make it seem like it's so weird for you to talk to yourself. Not literally like have a full-blown conversation, but like just look at yourself and say, I love you. I'm proud of you. I am here for you. Those are words that a lot of people can't even stand in the front. A lot of people can't stand in the front of the mirror and just look at themselves and be proud of who they are because of what they've been through, the things they've done, and so on and so forth. So I want us to break those mental barriers because that's all that it is. You are just as amazing as you believe that you are. If you are a person who's doing positive things, not only for yourself, but for your family or for your community, then you're on the right track. You have great intentions that's beyond self. So I have some notes of different things I want us to talk about, but you know the deal. Normally I start off with some inspirational thoughts just to expand our mind so we can start thinking, and then we're gonna go ahead and dive into the conversation. Shout out to everybody who's in the room. I greatly appreciate you guys for stopping in and stopping by and also supporting the platform. So let me get to the video really quick.
change is also the principle of life. That means everything that is alive will change. And even things that are not alive will change. You know, a lady came to me, she says, I came to the Bahamas for the last 10 years, and I missed 4 years. And I came here this past month, and everything is different. The airport is new, she said. What happened to the old airport, she says. In other words, even the things not alive are changing. The way the river runs down the mountain is wearing away the mountain. You go back to that mountain 10 years later, and the river is wider. Change is in creation. It's part of life. So here is the question then. Ecclesiastes chapter 3. It says, to everything there is a season, and to every purpose under heaven there is a time for it. To everything there's a season. How many things have a season? Everything. This is one of the best news I ever got in my life. When I understood this, I was a teenager, and it changed my life. When I understood that everything is a season, let me tell you why. If you're having a bad time right now, it cannot last.
Amen. Can I get an amen, y'all?
If you cannot find a job right now, that is only a season. If your business is going in the wrong direction, it's a seasonal slide. If nobody wants to marry you, that's only a season. There's going to come a season when everybody want to marry you. You got choices. If you have no money right now, the good news is I am seasonally broke. Tell your neighbor, it's only for a time. That's the good news. That's why we are always reminded, never make a permanent decision in a temporary problem.
Success is not something you pursue. Success is a matter of becoming a person of value. We should not be pursuing money. We should pursue purpose. We should pursue vision for ourselves and for our countries, for our communities. We should be not pursuing things. We need to pursue ideas. That's right. I always say that there are three types of people in the world. There's poor people, there's rich people, and there's wealthy people. Poor people talk about money all the time. Rich people talk about things. Wealthy people, they talk about ideas. Rich people, poor people, and wealthy people think differently. For example, poor people, they pursue money. Rich people pursue things. Wealthy people pursue ideas. And so that...
Let me just pause it right there really quick. When I heard him say that, you know what was the first thing that popped in my mind? The verse battle. You see how originally it was two celebrities who came out and created that idea, and then went ahead and made it very big and involved other musical celebrities to jump onto their idea. Now those two same celebrities went ahead and sold their business. Now, just like what this guy is saying in the video, wealthy people look for ideas. And what I really wanted to say about that is, sometimes we think that it's so hard to accumulate some type of wealth for ourselves. A lot of times we are all creative in some shape or form. It could be, you know, the things that you do, that you enjoy doing outside of your job. You know, those are areas where you can find inspiration in creation, creative ideas, where you can use it to create a stream of income with something that you totally enjoy doing. They always say if you enjoy doing what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. And that's the type of atmosphere we all have to create for ourselves whenever we are thinking of a creative idea. Does it fit my lifestyle? Will I be able to be consistent with it? Is it something that's going to be lucrative? How long will it take? Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Any person who's in the business world is going to tell you that throughout this journey, you're going to win and you're going to lose, and then you're going to win and you're going to lose. It's going to be a battle between winning and losing certain funds along the way, because you're learning the dynamics of the business world. Okay? And just like there's a season for everything, it's the same thing when it comes to business. There's a season when everyone is booming and everything is going beautiful, and then there's a calm season where everything is just, you know, flowing smooth and nice. And then there's other seasons where things do pull back a little bit. So when you're coming with these creative ideas for yourself and thinking of an idea for a stream of income, think of something that works in your favor in a sense. You know, there's gonna be bumps along the way in this journey, but at the end of the day, it's an experience. We're meant to experience the opposition. We're meant to experience that moment where you put all your money into a business and it doesn't go where you want it to go. Now, the reason why I brought up the verse battle idea is because just like these two guys sat down and came up with a creative idea, that's another company saw it, came in and bought it off their hands. Now, personally, I don't think that they should have sold this business. That's just my personal opinion, because at the end of the day, if someone is willing to come in and buy something from you, that means that they see way more value in it than you do. So at the end of the day, that means that if you know that you're being offered a deal based on an idea that you came up with, I think that you should hold and wait. I don't think you should sell it. I think you should build on it. I think you should expand it even more so it could be more valuable in the future. So I don't know if you guys seen how the verse battle looks now versus how it used to be. Originally, it started from Instagram and everybody was just on the Instagram watching it. Then so many celebrities with their businesses saw that, wow, okay, we're getting a lot of views. They're getting a lot of views. So like Ciroc became partnered with them, and you know, this is before they sold the business. Ciroc became partnered with them and had, you know, Ciroc all plastered in the background later in a few months after they started. But originally it was just an idea that these two celebrities came up with and then they ran with it. So now, if you watch the verse battle now, a lot has changed. I strongly believe Apple, it plays on Apple. I'm not sure if it's still on Instagram anymore, because I haven't been really tuning into the verse battles, but I do think it is, because I did get a notification like a few days ago when they had their most recent verse battle. So I think it does still stream on Instagram. But now, if you go and you watch like how it looks versus how it started out, and now that they've been bought by a whole nother company, the people changed, like expanded everything. You know, now they have a host to introduce the artist. They have the setup like it's an actual concert, and you still see Ciroc in the background. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I know some people are a little bit on the fence when it comes to the owner of Ciroc, but I must say this: shout out to him, because at the end of the day, he's like one of those type of people that you don't have to see him, but he's present. You get it? He's making his money. He is like the idea of working smarter, not harder. You see now, you still see Ciroc plastered in the verse battle all over the place, as well as like Triller, the app called Triller and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, you see the expansion that this business or this idea has done thus far within what, 1 year? Under a year, I believe. I think they came out with this idea last year, and then few months down the line, after they got so many people to like tune in, they got bought out. So I strongly believe that whatever creative idea you come up with, if you stick to it and you truly feel like it has purpose and meaning, and you know that it's going to be something that's going to be lucrative, stick to it. Just revise the plan maybe if it didn't go properly the first time, or if it does go right, I think that you should just come up with more creative ideas on top of it to make it more noticeable, you know? So I'm going to continue to play the audio clip for you guys.
Constantly, there's a different way of thinking. I hope that the third world countries and the young people of our nations will become ideas people. You know, ideas control the world. There's not money. That's right. And ideas attract money. So I think if we minimize this desire to get money and elevate the creativity of new ideas, we will find that financial results will naturally flow to it. Bill Gates didn't pursue money. He pursued an idea. Stephen Jobs, the late Stephen Jobs, who invented the Apple computer and the iPhone, he never went after money. He developed an idea. And I think if you think of all the wealthy people in the world, it was ideas that made them wealthy, not money. That's right. So I think.
Okay, you see that, right? It was ideas. So that means that if you got the dollars and you see somebody who has the idea, you see what I'm saying? That's how the wealthy people think. You think they stop and think about creative ideas? You think they sit down and think about it? No. They look out and see. They let somebody else do the work for them. They let somebody else do the work, and they just come in with the dollars. And depending on if you're willing to give up your creative idea, then you're going to be bought out, and they're going to go ahead and make a whole bunch of more money than you would have ever thought that your business would have created. Now, let me just add, this is a little side note. I saw like a post the other day about someone was mentioning that there was this guy that I think he applied to work for like Facebook, and they turned him down. And then after they turned him down, he went ahead 5 years later. Throughout those times after he got turned down, he went ahead and he created an app. This app is called WhatsApp. So I'm talking about the creator of WhatsApp. So he went ahead and created an app called WhatsApp. 5 years later, after he did all that into the time, guess who decided to come back around and try to buy his company? Facebook. The same company that turned him down. See, that's why I always tell a person, sometimes when you're pursuing certain things or a path in your life and it doesn't go the way it's supposed to, it's because it's not supposed to. If you might think, oh, well, if I get this job, it's going to be like this, it's going to be like that, and I could do this, and then I could do that, and I could retire at this age. But sometimes it's just like that little meme we see on the internet where it'd be like your plan versus God's plan. And you be looking at the meme and you'll be like, your plan is so small. And then when you look at God's plan, his plan be so big. You be like, whoa, I wasn't expecting all of that extraness. But okay, God, I see where you're trying to go. Same thing. And that applies to every single one of us. Sometimes in life, if you embark on a certain job or business idea or anything and it doesn't go right, or you get, how can I say, let go, or they don't want to hire you or anything like that, that's okay, because you are actually doing yourself injustice by actually pursuing that thing that is not working. Because the guy who got turned down by Facebook ended up turning around and buying his business for $19 billion 5 years later. $19 billion. You see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? So don't fight the force of life. You get it? Go flow with it. Know who you are, know what you want, make sure you have a plan, make sure you have an idea, and don't ever hesitate to write things down. Look, today I have my notes next to me. I have my written ideas down on what we're going to talk about today, and just to make sure that I don't miss anything, so that way we can be able to stay a little organized. That is something that a lot of us need to learn to do. I'm not saying I'm the most organized person, but these are practices that I want to continue to practice, so that way I can continue to be organized in some shape or form. Okay? But I just want to show you that sometimes that let go, or that how can I say, they let you go, or they fire you, or it doesn't go through, whatever it may be, that right there is your golden ticket to a better opportunity. Don't make it seem as if, oh, why me? No, 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 no. You should be saying, thank you, God, because you don't know what would have happened. That guy probably would have got accepted by Facebook, still working there, busting his butt, and not making nowhere near how much money he was going to make on his own. So he would have really been upset with himself if Facebook would have took him, because then he would have never came up with his idea of WhatsApp, and he would have never got $19 billion. So sometimes don't fight it. Don't fight it. Just let it flow.
You need to switch it, reverse it. Don't pursue money and then try to get an idea. Get an idea and money to pursue the idea, and you become a byproduct as far as wealth.
I tell our young people, I say to you right now, stop looking for employment. Why don't you position yourself differently and look for deployment? To be employed means that somebody else is benefiting from your energy. To deploy yourself means that you are using your own energy to be productive. So instead of waiting for someone to give you a job, create your own work. That's why I tell people there's a difference between your work and your job. Your job is what they train you to do. Your work is what you were born to do. Your job is your skill, which they can fire you from that any time. But your work is your gift. No one can take that from you. Your job is where you get compensation for activity. Your work is where you get fulfillment because you love it so much. Your job you can retire from. Your work, you can never retire from your work because your work is you. So when a person discovers their work, they no longer need a job because their work makes them productive. So there are young people in this country who are full of talents, full of gifts. And I want to say this too. Every problem in life is a business. All businesses are simply someone solving a problem. So the more problems that are in Kenya, the more businesses available for young people to begin. And this is what I think we are lacking. We are trained to get a job. We're not trained to start a business. We are trained to let other people employ us.
That is so true. That is the truest thing that I've ever heard. A lot of times, okay, let's just look at our parents for a second, right? Let's examine the closest relatives to us, the people who raised us, the people who molded us, who had an impression on us. Let's look at them. Let's dissect them for a second. How many of us in this room right now were fortunate to have a parent who was a, how can I say, business owner and taught you how to run businesses? So I personally feel in our community, we lack the know-how and the knowledge. We lack the information. It's not that we are not a hardworking community. It's the fact that we don't have that molding that others have. So we are just like, okay, let me just go get this job real quick. I can make a quick dollars real quick, and I can flip the dollars right here, boom, boom, boom. And then, you know, life happens, and then something kind of disrupts that plan, and then you get caught up into other things, and then you kind of lose sight a little bit. That's understandable. But what I'm trying to say to you is there was so lack of the knowledge, the molding. And that's what us who are now adults, or if you have children or anything, it is our responsibility, personally, what I strongly believe, to fill in that lack of knowledge that we didn't have. Take the time out to learn things, you guys. The world is changing, and most importantly, I would say focus on survival. Not just getting up and making money and stuff like that. Yes, those are the fundamental basics of survival. But right now, we're shifting into a whole nother period where it's different than just money. Because in the near future, which is right on my notes, that dollar bill that's in a lot of our hands is going to, it's already depreciating. But it's going to depreciate even more. And I'm going to explain to you guys how. And I'm going to show you guys how the government just passed a bill and how it's going to correlate to us going into digital currency. See, a lot of people are hearing something and they're like, oh my gosh, we're going to get this stimulus check every single month for the next few years. Well, did you guys know that every time they produce those stimulus checks, they are burning money? The value has to go down. It depreciates. Now, when the value goes down, other things go up. So at the end of the day, they are in a sneaky way. If you don't know what they're doing, they're pushing us towards digital currency. And we all know why they're pushing us towards digital currency. Because it's a way for them to have more access digitally. See, if you have money in your home and you don't have in a bank account, nobody knows how much you have. And that's what is going to be little by little pulled away because they want to know how much you have. They want to see. Because a lot of people are reporting that they have X, Y, and Z, but they really do have more. And also vice versa sometimes. So when we hear that they're talking about stimulus check, because they just signed a bill that starting in 2022, supposedly, because you know they always like to say these things that, oh, they're going to give money to people, and then people wait until pigs are flying, which never happens, and sometimes no money is really given. But let's just say, right, that they do go ahead and continue this. This article stated that 2022 all the way through 2026, it might have gone a little further, but from my memory, I remember it was from 2022 to 2026, that they're going to be offering monthly stimulus checks to families. I believe if you're under $100,000 or something, or $75,000 a year, you're going to be getting a check of $1,400. It was either between 12 or 14. And if you have a child, I believe it's $500 or $600. So a lot of people be like, yay, yes, yes, about time, yes. No, that's not that's not the agenda. The agenda is not to put the money in your hand because we so-called need assistance. We do need assistance. Yes, we do. But the whole agenda really is as they're pushing this money out, they're burning money, which is causing the dollar to depreciate, which is already, it has a little to no value compared to a lot of other materials that are in this world. So what they're going to do is once that happens, it allows them to convert into digital currency, which they already have. Digital currencies have been around for a long time. It's just now that a lot of people are starting to jump onto the digital world and making that fast money. And it's like, okay, all right, this is what we're doing. They know that the moment they give you that stimulus check, you're going to put that money right back into their hands. You see what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, please, you guys, understand the world we live in. I'm not saying we got to go outside and protest and say that, oh, we need to change. Just peep the game and understand the game of life and how it is going. Because people who are most likely older than me, this is going to be a culture shock for them. Because they're so used to it. They're used to how life was. And it was much easier. It was. And I guarantee what's the crazy thing about life is those same people probably at that time felt like life was so hard. Guarantee now they're like, damn, back then was sweet. Exactly. Things have changed. Back then things are a little bit more easier. You really just living. Now we have a system where they're slowly pulling things out. Okay, last year when the whole so-called pandemic started, in my area, I don't know about you guys' area, but in my area, they're talking about, oh, we have a shortage of coins. Just when the pandemic started, we have a shortage out of nowhere. We have a shortage of coins out of nowhere. Oh, please have your exact change. What? You see what I'm saying, though? Do you guys see the change that's happening? And that's why we have to understand the world we live in and don't get wrapped up in thinking things are going to go back to normal. Because when you think that things are going to go back to normal, you're going to be like these people who are stuck in other countries right now because their flight got canceled on them. Yes, there are flights. There are, how can I say? What do you call them again? Plane companies that are basically canceling flights. I never did my digging into why, but they're literally canceling flights, and a lot of people are stranded in other countries. See, people are so eager to go jump back into society, and you don't know that the dynamics have changed. It's like a boxer. You're going in the ring with the same tactic that you have for the last person, and this person might be taller, faster, slimmer. He might know how to duck a little bit quicker than you. When you're going into a situation, you have to understand that you have to readjust your skills, meaning your mind. You cannot think that, because they're open up, it's time for me to go to the concert, it's time for me to go to the club, it's time for me to go fly out the country. Yes, I understand it. You want to go live your life. You are entitled to it because you want to experience an experience. Kudos to you. Yes, but please understand that there are things bigger plans beyond what you think that are in play. And at the end of the day, I don't want anybody to be out here thinking that their life is normal and they're missing what has truly happened. And then when it's time, there's no preparation. You're like, wait, what? No, you should not. You should be fully aware of what's going on. Yes, I understand that there's a lot of drama going on in the world. But please, you just use your discernment and have understanding that you are important. You have to prepare for you. Yes, continue to live, continue to have your dreams, continue to challenge yourself, but also you are being battled against the world and the world wanting to change the dynamics of things. So that means that when the world changes, you shift with it too. You understand, okay, boom, nowadays, like for example, in New York is now requiring for you to show verification that you have gotten something. I can't say it because YouTube is not really a platform where you can speak on certain things. So y'all just keep up with me and understand. Y'all know the 411. That's one thing. The people who come onto my platform, you guys are very intelligent, so y'all know what time it is. So in New York, they're requiring people to show verification or to be in a certain status in order to enjoy the necessities of thus restaurants and any indoor activities. That is a drastic change for a lot of people. Because at the end of the day, so many people have red flags and questions on what is being told or pushed. And at the end of the day, I do not disagree with these people with the questions and the red flags, because at the end of the day, these are people's lives you're playing with. It's not their money. You can make money again. You can get that house back again. You can buy a new car. But when it comes to someone's life, that right there is something that's very precious. And we should all protect ourselves and understand that we and each and every one of us is truly valuable. And at the end of the day, protect yourself. If you are one of those individuals that did go ahead and pursue whatever you wanted to pursue in that status that they are offering, and you are verified and stuff like that, I wish you the best. I wish you the best. I am not a type of person that's going to be like, oh, this is wrong, that's wrong. No, 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 no. All I'm saying is there's unanswered questions. That's all I'm saying. And at the end of the day, I don't know about you, but I want to make sure that I have understanding about something before I pursue anything in life. That's just how I am. I like to have understanding. I don't just jump in and say, oh, because this seems like a great idea. No, 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 no. I have to, it has to make sense to me. It has to make sense to me. And that is the thing that we are seeing. Changes and changes throughout the world. Now, here's my question to you guys. Now, I don't know if you guys heard about the mass shooting that happened in New York. This was announced way like literally 2 days or 3 days before New York went ahead and said they require a certain verification to prove that such and such and such, right? Now, there was a mass shooting. 2 guys, I spoke about this the other day. 2 guys on foot pulled out a gun, start shooting people at laundromats and stuff like that. Afterwards, you saw 2 guys on a motorcycle come in behind them. They jumped on the scooter and drove off, literally, right? We didn't hear nothing that was set into stone for that to be prevented. Like, at the end of the day, it's like they're not focusing on lives. They focusing on, oh, this is what we need to focus on. You need to have this in order for you to enjoy inside restaurants and all indoors activity. You need, but what about the idea of the fact that this whole entire thing has started and people are now walking around with their face covered, they can freely, which is crazy because I remember years ago, there were people who were being harassed for having their face covered because of their religion. But now all of a sudden, because of what's going on, oh, we can all cover our face. Okay, just make sure you understand the monster that hope America understand the monsters that they're creating. Because at the end of the day, you are allowing people to walk around with their face covered, which means you cannot identify them. You cannot identify these people. But at the end of the day, you think that they will talk about passing some type of something in order to help people feel more safe in their own city. No, instead they come out days later talking about, oh, in order for you to have a normal life, you need X, Y, and Z. And it's like, wow, so that's way more important than trying to stop mass shootings from happening? So that's just a thought I want you guys to think about really quick. So I'm going to continue to play the audio.
Not trained to deploy ourselves. Do we sit down and let change just happen to us? Or are we just watching change happening around us? Or are we aware that change is happening within us? Or are we going to be those proactive people who make sure that we affect what happens to us? Change also produces 4 types of people. They are in this room. First of all, there are people who watch things happen. Now, let me say something about change. This is important here. Not all change is improvement.
Hey, if you're a coach, consultant, author...
1 second, an advertisement will come in.
Speaker, expert, and leader, you want to add $100,000 to your bottom line 5-10 hours a month, and you want to watch this ad. So you'll see here...
You used to weigh 128. And now you changed. And for some of you, that's not an improvement. You lost your wardrobe. You lost your ability to climb up steps fast. You even lost the quality of health that you had. Change doesn't mean improvement all the time. But the problem is, without change, there can be no improvement. So you have to decide what to do with change. Change will happen. And if you are not careful, it could be destructive. So you have to determine what kind of change do I want in my life? And I want you as a young person, as a mother and a father, as a business person, to think about your company even, or your family, or your educational pursuit. What kind of classes do you want to take in college this year? What kind of grades do you want? What kind of relationships you want to have in your life? Who do you want to drop and who do you want to pick up in your relationships? What kind of people do you want to associate with? Where do you want to travel that you've never been? What are the books you need to read you never read before? The changes come with choices. So what kind of person are you?
We should not try to get everything now. You know, I went to college. I spent 8 years in universities. I have 3 bachelor's degrees, a master's degree, 5 doctorate degrees bestowed upon me by many different universities. And many of my friends that went to school with me in high school, they went straight to jobs. I went to college. You know, they started making money early. I delayed my money making for 5 years. And now, what they make in a year, I probably make in an hour. So, you know, we need to be more focused on developing ourselves rather than trying to grab money now. Focus on self-improvement, self-expansion, rather than trying to get your pocket to expand. Because the more valuable you make yourself, the more value you attract. You're not paid for how hard you work. You're paid for what you are worth to the organization.
That's right.
And the more intellectual development you have, the more spiritual development you have, the more psychological development you have, emotional stability, you become more valuable to the world. And let me say this finally. If you become valuable to the world will pay you to be yourself. So it's important for you to become a person of value, not to seek value in things. I get paid for what I know, not for what I do. And I think this is what we need to perceive as being most valuable. Do you know what they actually call intellect? They call it capital. You know, intellectual capital is really a commodity. And so I want to encourage our young people to focus on discovering the purpose for your life, why God created you, and then discover your gifts, and then refine them, develop them, practice them, and then even begin to serve them freely to your community. Develop yourself, and in a short time you'll discover that people will pursue you. Because when you develop your fruit and you maximize your fruit of your gift in life, just like a tree, trees never bring their fruit to you. They just simply manifest them. You are attracted to the tree. So when you develop your gifts and refine your gifts, you don't need to look for followers. They'll find you. That's right. After all, leadership is not about finding followers. It's about followers being attracted to what you have. And this is true commodity.
Stop. Did you know every time you shop?
YouTube, stop with the advertisement.
Yes.
Power for me to be successful was not in the teachers, it was not in the educational system, it was not in my culture, it was not in my society, it was within me. And I began to think, God, if you are a good God, why am I poor? If you are a great God, why are these people better than me? If you make me in your image, why are they special and I'm a monkey? And that night, no thunder, no lightning, no earthquakes, nothing. I just heard a voice in my mind. And the voice said, I ask you to believe me and you will be saved, not them. And that night, I made a commitment to believe what God said. 13 years old, I said, okay, I believe that I have the power to experience far beyond all I can ever ask, think, or imagine. 13 years old. And that's when my pursuit of God began.
When was it that you realized you wanted to become a preacher?
You know, I didn't want to become a preacher. Matter of fact, today I still don't consider myself a preacher. I think it drove me to have a passion to help everybody who's been oppressed. My passion is to make sure that no one should live under what I experienced. I never desired to be a minister. I desired to help people. You should never judge your success by other people's accolades. You judge your success by God's instruction to your life and how well along you are with that instruction. Because I found out something in life, the average human being is so mediocre that to be a genius, just do a little extra. Y'all missed that. People are so normal. To be an expert, just go 1 inch abnormal, and they think you're great. So don't judge your success by the masses, what they think of you. Judge yourself by what God told you to do. Can I put it another way? When experience is your best teacher, then progress is imprisoned. Experience could be a curse. I've been taught by my parents years ago that experience is the best teacher. I don't believe that anymore. Experience could cause you to stop progressing because you keep judging your dreams by your experience or your vision by your experience, and you end up saying, I tried that before, or I never saw anyone do it that way. And you begin to use your experience to stop your progress. This is why God always makes history with young people. Because old people got too much experience. You all remember the story with David and Goliath? The problem with Saul, who was the king, was he had experience. And he tried to put his experience on David. He told David, wear my armor, wear my shield, use my sword. David put it on. David said, this thing is too heavy. And he went out and fought the giant with something the giant never saw before. A sling. How do you fight a rock with a sword? The giant says, what is this thing he's using? The giant is trained, experienced with a sword. So he expected an experienced swordsman to come and fight him. But here comes a little boy with equipment he ain't never seen before. We need some people like that in the 21st century who come with some things that they ain't never seen at the office. Think of some ideas that wreck the whole system. That's why Steve Jobs will always be in history as a great inventor. He keeps defying his own experience. I was reading his watching a documentary on him 2 weeks ago, and they said that when the iPhone came out, they said to him, that's it. You the ultimate, this is it. He said, no. And he came up with this idea about the iPad. And he said the people in the company said it will never work. Why? It's an abnormal size. Either you got a computer or an iPhone. Put it in your pocket or put it in your briefcase. He said, this thing in the middle ain't gonna work. He says, look, we're gonna make this. Now the iPad is the most common machinery people use in the world. Sometimes you got to defy your own board to take progress.
One second. Un momento, y'all.
Sweet are the uses of adversity. Ooh, I like that. Sweet are the uses of adversity. He says you must learn to use adversity for your benefit. One of the wealthiest men in the United States, I just finished reading his book, again, his new edition. It's called Cheaters Never Win. He's a multi-billionaire. He probably has products in this room today or in this building somewhere. He is the largest manufacturer of plastic, paper, cups, and paper plates, and forks in the world. The company is called the Huntsman Enterprise, multi-billionaire. Here's what he says in this book I just finished reading. He says, if there is a silver lining to bad times, it is this. When facing severe challenges, your mind is normally at its sharpest. I wonder why he's a billionaire. When facing challenges, he says your mind kicks in and thinks beyond the norm. He also says another statement I thought was interesting. He said humans seldom have created anything of lasting value unless they were tried or hurting.
Okay, so when I heard him say that part, you know what I thought of? Like, I have been told that the greatest songs that we hear were written when that person was like in despair. You know? I guess when we're happy or like in a comfy spot, we tend to be relaxed. But when we get our feathers ruffled up or we're put into a situation where it's hurting or hurtful, that's when the spark of idea just jump into our head. You get it? So there's benefits to it in a sense. Just like that guy I was telling you guys about, the one who created WhatsApp, and how Facebook didn't accept him as for a job. You know, if he didn't experience that rejection, he probably would have never created WhatsApp. So it's the whole reason why I'm saying all of this is experience life, the good and the bad. Because it has to be both. It can't be all good and it can't be all bad. And if you're a person who knows how to look at a bad situation and turn it into your betterment, that's what it is you're supposed to do. Use that as a way to say, okay, well, you know what? I see how I can use this situation to benefit me in a way. And you just keep pushing.
Benefits from crisis. This is when you are supposed to become a greater leader, a better leader, because your skills must be tested. I put it another way. Abraham Lincoln was an amazing guy. He became the greatest president in the midst of trials. Today, I still am convinced he is the greatest president of the United States in history because he used adversity to create a federation that lasted 300 years and still were working. But it came out of the fires of crisis.
People see this and be like, can it be me? Can it be?
Seriously? Like 20 million ads for this one video.
To be honest, I was very...
Hold on, you guys.
My definition of leadership is very simple yet complicated. I believe that leadership is the capacity to influence others through inspiration, not manipulation. And that inspiration comes from a passion, which is motivated by a sense of vision and a sense of purpose. So leadership is first personal, then it's corporate. Leadership is not something you pursue, it's something you discover. Leaders are born when a human discovers something more important than their personal ambition. Leadership is...
You don't pursue it?
Leadership is... No, true leaders do not seek followers. Leaders actually are pursuing a passion toward a purpose that gives them a sense of destiny. Yeah. For example, one of the greatest leaders of example that I use is Nelson Mandela, one of your great presidents. He never sought followers. Think about it. He discovered a purpose that was more important than his private preservation, his private ambition. He pursued that purpose privately. it attracted people. So leaders don't seek followers. Followers are attracted to leaders. Leaders are more concerned about discovering a purpose to improve the life of humanity that's more important than their personal ambition. So they sacrifice themselves to accomplish something for the greater good.
Yeah.
We find that very rarely. Most people we call leaders are simply professional manipulators, and they actually are more concerned with their own promotion than promoting the people.
As you look back over your life, if there's just one thing that you could do differently, what would it be?
That's always a tough question. I get that question asked a lot. I'm not sure, you know, because everything that happened in my life produced me. Even the negatives, even the things that I might have failed in, the things I've made mistakes with, they were fantastic classrooms for me. And I believe the best thing in life to do is not to regret and try to change what happened, but to interpret it properly, maximize it, and use it to serve other people. And that's what I want to do with my past.
Okay. That was a very beautiful video. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. So, what I wanted to also talk about is, you see how he said, people are always going to ask that question. What would you have done differently? In reality, life, each step, each decision, each choice we make, it molds you into who you're supposed to. It's like, it's weird. You're kind of in control, but you're kind of not in control. Meaning that life has a purpose for you, or an idea of what you're supposed to do. Not society, life. Meaning what's written by God for you to come into this world, and what are your contribution to the world, right? That idea right there is usually different than what we think for ourselves. So a lot of time we do go through bumps and bruises throughout life, trying to discover what our true purpose is in life and what we're really here to do. So when you reach to that certain point, you have experienced some unpleasant experiences. Those experiences actually sometimes push you towards what your true purpose is. Because when you're in a situation and you're pursuing a passion that you like to do, but you're always seeing, dang, why every time I do this, this happens? Or when I do that, that happens? Or why it never becomes successful? Like I said in my other videos, most likely it's time for a new chapter, a new beginning, a new start, a new purpose. You know, a lot of people who's been on this earth, or who's still on this earth, they could be 50, 60, 70, or 80, and a lot of them didn't even fulfill their purpose. A lot of people don't know what their purpose is. They think their purpose is to collect the degrees and the money and the house and the cars, but it's more deeper than that. I keep trying to tell some people are here to shape the world into something more valuable than it currently is in. Because we're living in a society where they're forcing people to accept certain ideology, but then scrutinizing other ideologies. You get what I mean? They're like picking and choosing what society should be acceptable and what should not. And at the end of the day, it makes you question, like, you know, people who have children right now, it's like, dang, do you even, or don't have any children, do you even want to bring kids into this world? Because in this world, it's quite twisted, and I'm going to show you how. I do have something for you guys. A little bit close to the end, I will definitely remember to say it. So what I wanted to bring up is, I don't know if you guys notice, like, when you go to certain places, there's like an outage of food. Like, I've been to several businesses and they have signs saying outage of food. So when I'm speaking to you guys and I'm telling you guys what true value is self, and true value is knowing skills that you can use to survive in this world, because it's changing. I guarantee I can interview a person who's in their 40s or their 50s or their 60s and so on and so forth and ask them, have you guys ever had this experience of some type of outage of food? You know, like, have you guys had this experience where there's no coins? Like, you know, you will ask these people, and this will be a first for them as well. So that's why I'm saying, don't, if you're younger than anyone and you're under 30, 35, let's just say 35, you're under 35, don't take this change as, oh, it's going to go back to the normal. Because if you ask people who's been around longer than you, this is a huge change for them. This is a huge change for them. And this is the most likely the first time. So when it comes to survival, you guys, please learn what is important. Right now, traveling, doing all that extra stuff, spending money, like it's still normal to do all those things. It's really not. Because at the end of the day, when they slowly, you guys don't know what a rug pull is. When they slowly do a slow rug pull from underneath a lot of people are not going to be happy about it. They're going to be like, why did this happen? How did this happen? Well, it has been happening for quite a time now, and they've been doing it little by little to show you that, hey, some control system is going to be in effect in the future. And that's exactly what it is. It's a control system. Control your food, control your money, control your interaction with others, and that's what it looks like. Does it not look like that? Because at the end of the day, we do have a choice to go ahead and stand firm in what we know, meaning learn how to plant crops, learn how to grow crops, learn how to filter your water, you know, have food supplies. You know, if you have a person who have a nice backyard, get yourself a shed. If you're a manly man, go build yourself a shed. You know what I mean? Start stacking up cans and stuff and like that, so that way you are somewhat prepared for anything that can happen, you know? Because at the end of the day, it seems like it's getting to that. How can we see so many people spending so much money, but then they want to talk about we have an outage of food, we are short coins? You know, like just the weird little things like that. It's like, yeah, something's changing up in here. It's not normal. And then I don't know if you guys saw the protests in Paris, because they're like now, like saying that you have to have like a certain type of passport. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You got to have a certain type of passport in Paris. So the people are really, really upset about that. And there's huge protests in Paris about people saying, hey, I don't think this is right and stuff like that. So we might not see it greatly being done fast in America, but in other parts of the world where they don't really have that much say, they're being forced into a position where they don't want to be forced into. I feel so sad for everybody who lives in New York, because at the end of the day, now those people, because the lifestyle in New York are different than other parts in the US. In New York, they're a little bit fast paced, they're on the go, they're in and out. So that's their way of life. They're used to that convenience of running to the store really quick, grabbing something, or going to a place, sit down and eat and grabbing something and go. They're used to that. So now these people are going to have to recondition themselves, which is nothing wrong. Hey, if someone's telling you you got to have X, Y, and Z to come up in their restaurant, and you don't have X, Y, and Z to come up in their restaurant, they're doing you a favor. Now you can go cook your own food. You can save some money. You know you're going to live longer because now you're cooking your own food. And then on top of it, you get to see what is being put in your food. So it's like they feel like they're punishing you, but in reality, they're bringing you back to Mother Gaia, Mother Earth. They're bringing you back to real standards. See, at the end of the day, sometimes when a person feel like they're gonna isolate you, and you're gonna just sit there and be sad because you're in isolation, It's what you do with it. You get what I mean? It's what you do with it. If you're a person who's like, you know what? Since they don't want me to go to the restaurant or whatever it may be, I'm going to start cooking. I don't need, and since they don't want me to go to the movies anyways, expensive ass movie, I'll stay home and watch me something. You know what? Or expand your mind. Go read a book. Go watch something informative. You know? Yes, movies are cool and all, but after a certain while, you outgrow certain things. It's like, yo, life is too serious for me to waste an hour and 30 minutes on a movie that's only for form of entertainment. I don't know about you guys, but this pandemic should have gotten you guys a little tight on life. But in reality, what I'm noticing, people have gotten more loose. People are like, yo, well, hey, there's this out here, and if I, God forbid, I get it, well, I want to just live my life. And I'm like, yo, that's what you think? I can tell you're not a God-fearing person, because at the end of the day, you're going to just go run with anything that's put in front of you and just go ahead and just accept it and not realize, like, hey, peep the game. See it for what it really truly is and understand what it is. That don't mean that you should go hard in the paint and go party even harder because, oh, they tell you can't party. Grown-ass adults partying. And these people, I'm not gonna lie, people who party, they didn't just start partying when they're in their 30s and 40s. A lot of times, these people been partying from their 20s. Damn, how much partying you gotta do? Don't get me wrong, I love music. I love music. I really, truly do. I'm an island girl by heart. So there ain't nobody in the room who love music more than an islander. But at the end of the day, I gotta put my importance in front of me. I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh, I need to go party and be around a whole bunch of people and go get dressed up and be cute so I can post pictures on Instagram. And that's just senseless and wasting time to me personally. I'm not bashing nobody who likes to go ahead and do that, but at the end of the day, it's what you do with your time. And a lot of people waste their time. They're full-blown adults and they waste their time. Now here, this statement actually goes to my next statement that I found out just recently, like literally before I came on to live. Apparently, there's a celebrity out here who is being sued because she has unpaid payments for her booty. You see what I'm saying? And I saw the pictures of the booty. First and foremost, that shit look nasty. I'm sorry. A lot of these fake asses look nasty. It look like 2 toothpicks and olives on top of them. That's what it looks like. A lot of women are out here so plastic. It's like, I told somebody this the other day. I said, those women are actually doing the natural women justice. Because in a few years, men are going to be looking for, like, damn, what a natural woman at? They going to be way more valuable and way more rare than these women with these fake ass. Because at the end of the day, you can be like, damn, this one, she love herself. You get what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I'm not saying that people who go get plastic surgery do not love themselves. But what I am saying is that's what society states when they see somebody who has gotten plastic surgery. Sometimes they do question the level of security of self. They do. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it just shows you people are out here willing to go get the look, have the look, but don't want to pay the bill. Now that same celebrity is being charged over 600 plus thousands of dollars to pay back to that surgeon for unpaid fines. So now not only do you have an ass on you that don't look good, now you have an overpaid ass on you that don't look good. And then on top of it, you're like damn near 50, 60 or something like that, and you're trying to get plastic surgery? See, that's another thing I see. Older women, listen, we admire you just the way you are. You don't need to be on TikTok or Instagram twerking with the young girls because you think that that's what's in. Trust me, your generation is very valuable. A lot of younger women do look up to the right older women who have taken care of themselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. We think that's quite beautiful that you are a quality woman who's homely. But those other ones who for some reason feel like the older they get, the more they need to do, the more they need to be relevant, the more all this and all that. And it's like, yo, as old as you are, we will expect better from you. That's just the truth. I know that sounds very cutthroat, but I gotta be real with you. I gotta be honest with you. I'm that friend that's gonna tell you the truth. I'm gonna tell you what it is. And I don't do it because of meanness, but I want the best from you. So when you know better, you do better, right? So that's exactly what it is. I want a lot of us to know better about self. Love yourself. Don't worry about the look. Don't worry about the Instagram. Don't worry about that. Worry about self. We got people out here who are dying, hungry. Children are being killed, not being fed, not being loved, not being cared. And then we have women out here trying to get their ass done and paying unpaid bills. You see what I'm saying? Can we take that idea and shift it into another perspective where we can pour a little bit back into our communities? Now, I saw an interesting video the other day, and someone was like, the main reason why we don't see a lot of celebrities speak on what's going on in the media is because a lot of them are tied to sponsorships, which is understandable. Think of it like this. A lot of these people have worked very hard in their career, and this has allowed them to create the money that they have. A lot of them are in certain positions because of the person who is over them. So when we see certain things happen in the world and we don't see certain influencers talk about it, it's not that they don't want to talk about it. It's that the fact that if they do talk about it, it will be a consequence on their part depending on what they're speaking about. Now, when it comes to like social media, we have seen countless times, once again, media picks and choose what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. Now, with that being said, I actually got a tweet for you guys. Now, this one blew my mind. Give me 1 second. I screenshot it. And shout out to everybody in the room. Hey, Tribe, how you doing? Hey, Woods. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Let me try to find, there it is. Now, I'm not going to mention this person's name because this person is apparently an influencer, and I don't even know who she is. Maybe y'all might know who she is, but I don't know who she is. Okay, but she's an influencer and she is verified on various platforms, so she must have some type of status, right? Now, I want to, just like I said, how society likes to pick and choose what's acceptable for certain people to say, and there's nothing that's being reacted to it. This is a prime example. Now, I'm gonna have to change my words up a little bit. Just the word that starts with P, I'm gonna change it to something else because for YouTube purposes or anything like that. But the word P represents for something else. You guys know. It's like, you know, when you see two people doing something and they record it, the P, y'all know P, right? Yeah, okay, that. So this is what the person said. I'm actually going to just skip out P, but you guys can hear, you guys will know where to fill it in, okay? Someone needs to create blank for children. Hear me out. This is what the person said. Now, let me say this disclaimer before I go ahead and state anything else. I do not condone to anyone who's involved or who has interest in child sexual activities. I do not condone to that, and I think that is very unlawful, and I don't think that's something that any child should be exposed to at any age. Wait till you're 18. There ain't no rush. You barely even know who you are. You get it? So take your time. So at the end of the day, I do not condone to any child sexual interactions or activities at all. So this is what this person said. Someone needs to create blank for children. Hear me out. Young teens are already watching blank but they're finding hardcore aggressive videos that give a terrible view of blank. They need entry-level blank, a softcore site where everyone asks for consent and no one gets choked, etc. Now, when I saw this, right, I thought to myself, right, so we got a lot of things going on in this world, right? I mean, devastating things are going on in this world. Lives are being shed on a daily basis. A lot of people in other countries, as well as here, are waking up and not knowing that that's going to be the last time, the last day for them. Okay? Some people ain't waking up at all. All right? So, with that being said, all this pain, all this bloodshed, all this sadness, all this everything, this is what that person is thinking about. That's where their mind is at. And this is someone who is considered as an influencer. Do you see the direction of our generation of these people that try to impede with their ideology on what they feel is acceptable? At the end of the day, you're trying to promote children to be into sexual activities before the age of 18? Now, I'm not saying there's not teens out there who are starting off early, but that don't mean that you go ahead and promote it as if it's a norm. See, that's the thing about the society we live in now. There's no culture. There's no roots. There's no essence. What happened to raising your child and watching your baby girl grow up and you teaching her, hey, wait till you get older. I want you to focus on yourself. When you get 18 years old, you can go ahead and you can date. Right now, I want you to be focused on you. I want you to learn to love self. I want you to understand who you are. I want you to learn what your purpose is. What happened to those type of homes? What happened to those homes where the mom is there and she is holding it down and she's making sure that the children are molded properly, and the father is there supporting and showing what a male figure looks like in the household? What happened to that? Why influencers not talking about creating the culture and the roots in the family, but yet they're out here talking about creating child blank? Are you kidding me? And then you want it to be social acceptable because you strongly believe that the children are going to do it anyway? No, ma'am, don't speak for nobody. Speak for yourself. Don't speak for no one and their children and try to force that agenda on people because you and your household feel like it's acceptable. But nobody came after this woman, though. We don't see nothing being canceled. We don't see nobody dragging her for the improper ideology that she has. Now, let me ask the same woman, how are you going to prevent grown men who are into that, preventing them from going on this platform? Now, do you know that child P is one of the largest funded business? They make a lot of money in that. Even though it's illegal, there's a lot of money in that. And that just shows you people don't care about just being self. They care about some foolishness, man. Just straight blasphemy, man. And it's like, yo, this is the world and then it makes you sit back. If you don't have no trade, make you sit back and think like, damn, is it even worth bringing children into this world? Because at the end of the day, you got to do a lot of shielding. You got to do a lot of protecting. You got to do a lot of molding. You got to do a lot as a parent just for your child to come out the way they're supposed to be and not get swallowed up by society and what society wants. I was watching a video the other day, and this lady said the realest thing ever. She said the younger generation, like the little ones, not the generation X or Z, not them, a little bit further, well, maybe Z, but a little further down, little ones that's like in teens and middle school. ones in middle school, those generation right now. She was saying that she noticed how a lot of children are self-conscious of self. Now, if you think about how society is going right now, right, with this whole social distancing and people are terrified to be around each other and all type of stuff, right? This is creating anxiety for this new generation. This is creating separation from this new generation. Now, let me show you where it's going to go in the future. Those same children are going to be the ones who are going to come out with the techie ideas because they're staying in their homes behind their computer. They're going to be the one who are going to shape it, but they're not going to have social skills to connect and feel and understand society. You get it? Because think about it. The environment that's being created for them right now is that distance from each other. Be careful. Don't go next to that person. You get what I mean? That's the programming or the seed that's being planted into the younger generation. So how do you think they're going to build confidence? How do you think they're going to learn how to talk amongst a large group of people? How do you think they're going to learn those skills? They're being robbed of their essence. But they will develop better skills in other areas like techie stuff, knowing how to build and fix things. They're gonna learn, they're gonna flourish in those areas. But when it comes to just being human one-on-one connections, it's gonna be quite difficult. So if you're a parent, teach your child how to be a little bit more sociable. I'm not saying that the child need to have a whole bunch of group of friends, because y'all know my idea on friends. I feel like at the end of the day, only hang around those who are like-minded individuals. If you're not hanging around no one who's like-minded individuals, it's just a distraction at the end of the day because they're not really feeding to your purpose. They're actually taking from your purpose. Okay? But at the end of the day, teach your child how to be social amongst a group. Meaning, if your child walks into a room or has an event at school and he or she needs to stand up for self and speak for self, then he or she can know how to do that. We don't need another generation of children growing up and being quiet and being mistreated. We don't need that. We need speakers. We need movers and shapers. So if you have a child and your child is in that age, they're in the teens or whatever it may be, or might be a little younger, or they might be a little tiny little baby, little cute little things. You know, I like them when they're little. They might be teach. That's the best time. There's no rebelling. They will listen to everything you say. That's the best time when they're little. Because at the end of the day, they don't go against nothing that you say. So teach your child what society truly is about. And it's about connecting. It's about learning from each other. Why do you think sometimes you will feel a certain type of way and out of nowhere, either something on social media or something someone says is basically how you was feeling? How's that possible? Because we are all connected. We don't have to see each other for us to feel what's going on. And especially if you feel what another person is feeling, they speak about what you're thinking. That means you guys are truly connected with one another. Because at the end of the day, we are all one. At the end of the day, if you really think about it, in a sense, we are one. Meaning that what's going on in the world, we feel it as a whole. It's just to a level of degrees of how you are tapped in and tuned in with yourself. But at the end of the day, we all feel what another person is going through. And sometimes we be like, dang, that person was literally reading my mind. It's because we are all connected in some shape or form. Okay? So I have one more. I have one more thing to talk about really quick before I go. I don't know if you guys heard about what's going on with Dr. Dre and this whole thing about his daughter being home. Allegedly, Dr. Dre's daughter is homeless. Allegedly, right? She's out here sharing pictures. Let me tell you the 401, the age group. This girl is 38 years old, grown ass woman, okay, for one. And she's out here saying that now she's working with DoorDash and Uber, and she has to live in her car. And, you know, she's been contacting her dad for at least 18 months now, trying to see if he could be able to help her and all type of stuff. Now, this is the reason why I'm bringing this up, because a lot of people have this idea that because someone has extra funds, that they have to be the savior. Now, at the end of the day, right, I'm pretty sure her being 38 years old, 18 years out of that 38, she was being taken care of most likely by either one or both parents, right? Okay. Now, with that being said, now that you have passed over 18, I have a question for you. None of the men that you were sleeping with couldn't help you and assist you along your journey, and you 38 years old? To the point that now you living in your car? Come on now. People are so quick to want to be around or be in relationships, and then they're 38 years old down the line living in their car. Now, I'm pretty sure she probably had at least one male in her life besides her daddy that came in her life and tried to help her as a woman, and she, being as she probably is, messed it up. Because at the end of the day, let me tell you how a lot of people live their life. They will have money, and they would rather go spend it and blow it on foolishness than to go pay their overhead, or pay their car insurance, or get that new tires on their car, or just get their health checked out, go to a doctor, you know, go somewhere that you can go get a massage, just do little things to help self. That's okay. But when I see people out here spending X amount of dollars for hair, beauty, and all this excess stuff, and they not taking care of home, and they're not putting groceries in their house, it makes me don't feel sorry for you. How can I feel sorry for you? You obviously are still a child, or I wouldn't even say child. You still haven't understand the fundamental basics of life and what is important. So why do because your father have money, he's supposed to take care of your bad habits and your poor management? You see what I'm saying? At the end of the day, a lot of people are always going to have that victim mentality. And I'm not saying that this individual has that victim mentality, but if you're on social media letting the world know you're homeless, you are having a victim mentality. You need to clean up your own mess. Come on now. Why? Because he has money he's supposed to give. Why don't you go ask your mom? Isn't she collecting over $100,000 every single month? Go ask your mom. You know what I'm saying? Now she want to talk about the young lady stating that, oh, she's working in Uber, she's doing DoorDash, and she's living in her car because the homes in California are too expensive. Then move. California is the only state in America, and you can go find a cheaper place and live there and be happy and probably find a nice, good job or something that can help you. At the end of the day, a lot of people have victim mentalities, and instead of just taking accountability for the roles that we all play, a lot of people be like, oh, why is this person doing me like this? I'm pretty sure when that person was in her life, meaning her father, for those 18 years, she took it probably most likely for granted. You get what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure. A lot of people have the idea, oh, well, I'm just going to blow my money and I'm going to do this, and my daddy or my mommy going to give it to me. Who are you? You don't even act like that with your significant other, but your parents you want to act like that with? No, girl. Go sit down somewhere. You're not making no sense. And that's why you're 38 years old, still trying to find yourself. Because at the end of the day, you're not taking accountability for yourself. If you was important to you, you would have never made yourself be homeless. You gotta find a way. You think that, oh, I'm gonna be out in California running behind DoorDash knowing that the rent in California is ridiculously high? You know, I'm gonna go sit my ass down somewhere with a book, a pen, and I'm gonna write down, hold up. Okay, this is how much I make. This is how much it costs to live here. All right, so this is how much I make, and this is how much it costs to live here. So I need to find a state where I can survive and live, and I can keep my stream of income the same, but my rent is less. So let's say if I make $3,000 a month, I currently pay $2,800 on rent, right? I need to find a state where I can move to, where I can get rent for like what, $1,000, $700, $800. Now that you have $1,000 to pay for rent, you now have $2,000 left over every single month. You can take that $2,000, you can take that $1,000, put it in your bank, take that other $1,000, divide it in half, and create two different ideas within that $1,000, and you try to make it boom. Okay, you know you doing DoorDash and Uber. All right, you got your business. You doing, let's say, baking. You baking, right? You okay? Boom. You baking cakes. You baking cupcakes and stuff like that. That's what you into, right? So you doing DoorDash and you doing Uber. You like, boom. This is what I'm gonna do. When I go out here and I go do these deliveries, these people like to eat, obviously, because you delivering their food, right? So I think it's Uber Eats you do or Uber. It don't make a difference. People like food. People like to eat. Ain't nobody gonna tell you no. So when I go to these places or I meet these people, I'm gonna hand my business card to them. I'm gonna let them know, hey, you know what? I bake cakes. I make exotic desserts. I do this. I do that. Come check me out. You know, I do home delivery. You don't even gotta come to me. Whatever you need, I got it. Marketing. You see how I took a situation that was detrimental and turned into something that was profitable, and you still got money left over. Let me tell you something. When a person is talking about, oh, it's hard for them because they don't want to survive. They want all the benefits of what other people are doing. They want to live the beautiful glamour life. They want to have all the access and the benefits, but they don't want to sacrifice nothing. They want to live in big California, which is expensive as hell, and live in a little box where they can live in another state and live in a big ass mansion. You see what I'm saying? That don't make no sense. And you 38 years old, you way older than me? Come on now. Come on now. But then again, my parents are islanders. We naturally know how to survive. We make an opportunity out of nothing because we've got to survive. Surviving is the only option on the table. There ain't nothing else in between. We gotta survive. Let me remind y'all one more time. You don't know, Haiti was the only country where they was able to fight and stand against. Exactly. They were the only one that won and got their independence. So at the end of the day, fighting, warrior, standing firm, it runs in my blood. But at the end of the day, I'm not saying that because of that. That's the only reason why. No. At the end of the day, it's just naturally how I am. I'm a person that there's a will, there's a way. The cup is half full, not half empty. It's how you perceive life in order for you to understand life. Life could be fruitful or it could be detrimental. And that was our conversation, the other day, our last video. It's what we make of it. So when people come out here all crying and, oh, I don't have this, because you don't want it. Stop it. You just want somebody to pacify you and treat you like a baby all your life. You damn near 60, 70, and you still want someone to take care of you, and you have no true skills. I don't know about y'all, but I wouldn't want to take nobody with me who don't got no true skills if the world is ending. What's the point? What are you going to do? Sit there and watch me do all the work? Come on now. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people are not prepared as adults, even as basic as just living. They can't even handle that. So that's the new buzz right now. A lot of people are like, oh, Dre should not do that to his daughter, allegedly. because she's allegedly homeless, right? He should not do that to his daughter. You know, he should be helping her. He should be, whoa, why don't you help her? Since you so moved and you feel like she needs assistance, why don't you go help her? Nothing wrong with that. Go help her. I'm pretty sure that man has you don't know what happened behind closed. I'm pretty sure he put a lot of money in that girl's hand and probably just she blew it. Some people feel like that. Some people are in relationships like that, where the one person makes more, so the other person be like, oh, well, I can just F up the money. Just spend it, blow it, however I want, because they'll make it again, and I'm this, and I'm that, and that's how some people think as a pair towards their parents, or even in relationship or marriages. It's how people think. And at the end of the day, a lot of people would want to just throw their baggages and their responsibilities on you, and you'll be like, okay, well, I will assist. But then it turns in years down the line, that person didn't create no type of skills for themselves, and they're still in the same position. You help them, but then years later, they're still in the same position. It's not you. It's them. It's them. So with that being said, that was our today's talk. It was just going to be in and out. And I do appreciate everybody that stopped in and chatted it up. Yeah. So our next video should be either like tomorrow or... Ooh, let me play something really quick before I go. I'm going to play something that backs up what I just said about how she's like this situation, like it's a little bit kind of not fair. You're 38 years old and you're like dumping your responsibility on someone because you feel that you're entitled to get what you want because they're related to you. So I'm going to play something really quick just to back it up so you guys can hear it. It's going to be like a little few seconds and then we're going to dip out, okay? I'm going to skip it. It was at 2. Now, what this guy going to say is the realest thing ever. He was saying what I was saying. The other guy next to him trying to be like, oh, but such and such got money. He should be able to give it to her. Those are the same people that would look at somebody's pockets and feel like, oh, someone should be entitled to offer something that they work hard for while somebody else goes sit on their butt. You see what I'm saying? People who work hard for their money and understand, and people who have lost money and who have gained money understand the value of how it is, and they feel and understand what I'm saying because they know they work hard for their dollars. So I'm gonna play what this guy said real quick. I actually really like what he said.
The daughter, right? She's 38 years old. Right. I'm 37 years old. I ain't asking my mom or my daddy for no motherfucking money.
What if they was billionaires, though? 800 billion.
Now let's talk about
You got to give me something.
Let's talk about that.
Right.
Because that woman's 38 years old.
Damn.
She ain't been 21 for 17 years. And what I'm saying is, I'm sure that Dr. Dre at some point in her life dropped her off with some substantial amount of money to get her to where she didn't have to live in her car and do DoorDash for the rest of your life. No, it's commendable. I'm not disrespecting anybody that got to get out there and get in their whip and do DoorDash or Grubhub or do whatever the fuck else is out there. Do y'all thing, make your money. But to sit back and use that as a victim ploy to get and go in an interview on the Daily News to basically tell the world my daddy's not taking care of me when you a grown-ass woman is kind of sick to me. Now, take care of your kids if they need it. They got children and things like that, and we got the money. There's nothing wrong with giving. But if I've given enough and you fuck that money over, why am I responsible for taking care of your ass and fucking some more money up? I'm not saying it's happening.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
He must have didn't give her enough.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? I didn't even hear that part. I only heard like the first other part that he said. I didn't even hear the part where he said mess up the money. But I just said that. You see what I'm saying? I tell you, history repeats itself, fam. It's nothing new under the sun. Listen here. And look, I didn't even know he said victim mentality. I said victim mentality as well because you're going on social media and you're going on social media trying to let the world know, oh, he won't give you no money. Why don't you, let me tell you something about people. People always talk about what other people do to them, but they never mention what they do to other people. You understand? At the end of the day, they don't talk about what roles they played. You would hear this girl, you probably be like, oh man, dang, why he do it? Not me, but you know, society, right? Oh dang, why he doing her like that? Why he don't help her? Why she live in a car? Da da da, right? Come to find out, her daddy probably gave her a few millions. She blew it. You wanna look at her, but you wanna beat her. You wanna fight her. You be like, hold up. Wait a minute, so your daddy done gave you money and you blew it and now you doing DoorDash? Come on. Ain't nothing wrong with DoorDash and Uber Eats. Get your dollars, get your coins, okay? But what I am saying is don't be coming on social media feeling sad, trying to create sadness for you so we can be like, oh, we understand where you come from. Because I personally do not understand where you're coming from. Because at the end of the day, I'm younger than you, and if I can make wise decisions as a young woman to keep my head and my mind focused on what I need to do in this lifetime, you can too, especially at the age of 38. The only difference probably between me and that individual is one person's way more focused than the other. The other person take things for granted and feel like money is inevitable and she could blow it whenever she wants because her daddy gonna give it right back to her. A lot of people have this type of mentality even in marriages or relationships. They blow their significant other money and they feel like they're entitled to it and they can't even make half of what their significant other is making, nor formulate the ideas that their significant other comes up with. But yet you want access to the dollars. Why? Because you the person, woman or man? Come on now, people. Come on now. We got to stop babying grown-ass adults who are out here wanting to make you feel sorry because they don't want to become an adult. They don't want to be responsible. That's what it is. A lot of people don't know how to be responsible and they don't want to be responsible. They want to live their life how they want to live it and expect others to suffer in the process because they have way more to offer. And then everybody in the community like, oh, come on, Dre. You can help. This is hypothetically speaking. They're like, come on, Dre. You can help that girl. You got money. You can do it. Really, really. And you look at these people, these same people who saying that, they ain't got nothing to show for themselves. So why would you even listen to them? Why would you even take importance in what these people have to say? If these people, a lot of people tell you, the video we just heard about the guy who said, if you just do a little bit more extra than the average person, or you do something a little bit more abnormal than the average person, according to society, you're magnificent. You know why that is? Because nobody aims for above and beyond. People want to meet the bare minimum in life, but they would spend so much energy in other areas of their life that's not going to help them grow, but they'll give it so much of their attention. But the things that they're supposed to be focused on, they give it little attention. And then they grow up to be 38 years old, living in their car, trying to say they're a victim. Poor management skills. How about you go on Daily Mail and let them know how you have poor management skills and you have not acquired the basic fundamental skills of life. That's what you need to say. You need to ask Daily Mail to get you a coach that can teach you how to manage your money and your life. That's what you need. You don't need more money because I always hear someone say this: if you can't manage the little, how you gonna manage the lot? Let me repeat that. If you cannot manage the little, how are you going to manage the lot? Let me let that sink in for a little bit. Just let that sink in, y'all. Let that sink in. Because this is the world we live in. We got people out here with victim mentality. Then we got influencers on here promoting BS. Then we got celebrities out here stealing stealing and walk around with unpaid ass. You see what I'm saying? Then we got certain states forcing and mandating certain things. Then we got flights canceling on people, leaving people in other countries. Then we got protesting and riots going on. Then we also have an outage of food at certain businesses. It's a lot going on right now. It's a lot. And right now, the focus should not be on being a victim. The focus should be on how can she need to focus on how can she create a solution for herself. That's the main focus. Not going on social media making it seem as if, oh, I want to be a victim because you are my daddy and you have money and you should give me the money because I am your daughter and I'm gonna mess up the money and you already know I don't have the brain like that. Like people who say stupid stuff like that is con artists. They're scammers. They do have the brain. They only have the brain to scam people. And I'm not saying her. That was in general statement to just people who use their brain for the wrong things instead of using it to come up with ideas and creative ideas. You heard what the man said. Wealthy people look for ideas. So that is what people need to do and stop coming up with all these type of situations where they try to show, oh, look how bad that person is for not taking care of his daughter. She's 38 years old. And you know what irks me? Why they not asking her about her men that she were with? Why her men got her homeless? Not her daddy, her men. The men that she be laid up with, all kiki loving, dubbing up, where they at? Why they ain't take care of her? Why one of them didn't do something for you, go put you in something so you could go learn something? Because probably you don't want to learn nothing. See, a man going to offer a woman what he sees that she knows she can, what he sees that she can do. If a woman is not book smart, man not going to offer you for you to go somewhere to an educational institution because he know you going to waste his money. He most likely going to try to offer you that because he wants that from you, but 9 out of 10, if you're not up there in the brain, you don't not going to see the value in it. So you're going to be like, oh, I don't need to know that. I know everything. I'm pretty sure there have been men that have came in this young lady's life and has offered her something for her to stand on. And her being her is now she's living in her car, allegedly, and doing DoorDash and Uber Eats, or Uber driver, whichever one. So that is that, you guys. That was today's talk. Also, don't forget to fill in after I am. So I want that's y'all little task, little activity for yourself. Outside of this video, I want you to fill in I am and chant that to yourself every day. I am confident. I am lovable. I am whatever it is. You say that when you wake up in the morning, before you go to sleep, before you step out your house, when you're looking at yourself in the mirror. Say those things to reaffirm everything that you know you are. Don't wait for someone to say, oh, that's my daddy. All right, 1 second. See, I gotta go, y'all. Hold on. 1 second to turn this off. Boom. Let me get that. Okay, so at the end of the day, when it comes to these type of situations and we see what's going on in the world, peep game and see it for what it is. Don't take too much of what's going on with these celebrities into your own personal life and make sure it all about them. Because at the end of the day, they are just a distraction. They want you to focus on, oh, see, you need to accept this and you need to accept that, but don't accept that and don't accept that. At the end of the day, you're an adult. You use your own discernment. You know what time it is. Peak game for what it truly is, and it is what it is. Keep striving to be your best version of yourself. And I want you guys to try these activities for the next few days, and you will see a change in yourself and also in your life. Fill in that blank. I am what? Whatever you want to put it in, you put it in. You are blank. And then you say that to yourself every single day. And I guarantee you there will be a change. It will be a change. All you got to do is believe. They say knowledge is power, but belief is power. What you believe is what it shall be. And at the end of the day, it is what it is. Okay? So I appreciate you guys so much. I apologize for the little interruption, but I do appreciate you guys for stopping in and tuning in into another live with me. It's always a pleasure listening to you guys through the chat and see what you guys are talking about. And also, it's always a pleasure talking with you guys and we just thinking and talking. So have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys later. If I do decide to create like another live video later tonight, maybe, I probably will pop back up. If I don't, then the live is going to be definitely tomorrow. But you guys have a wonderful, safe day, and I will see you guys till next time. Bye.